Welcome to another week where I tell you the 48 and 46 news and updates. Now, as always, we start with the 48, then we go to graduates, and then we go to 46. And you might want to stick around for the 46 because there's some pretty sad news and I'm sure all of you want to hear. Now, the first news is about the new auditions for the new AKB members that just happened through Showroom Live. Now, remember, I talked about this a couple weeks ago where they were doing auditions just like Nogizaka did. And actually 26 of the candidates actually passed, with the average age being around 15, with the oldest being 19 and the youngest 11. Now, it's not rare for them to not get someone over 20 and to be as low as 11, so this is pretty standard for AKB. And of course, there are too many candidates to name, so I will not be naming them all. But SKE is now about to do the same thing as well. With their 8th generation, they have 65 candidates. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to do as much recruitments as AKB did, but I'm sure there's going to be quite a number. And those candidates have actually started streaming already, so you guys can go to Showroom Live and go check it out. But something else you guys can check out soon is actually with the producer, Akimoto Yasushi. He says he's going to be a 2D anime and a 3D voice caster, whatever that is, producer. So not only real life idol, he's also going to do 2D anime idols. Now this project is together with Sony Music Japan and with Aniplex. And knowing Aniplex, this is probably going to be expensive. I mean, just look at Gurren Lagann, how expensive that is if you buy it on DVD even. The anime is going to consist of 8 characters. Now the usual is around 3 characters, but this one's going to have 8. But don't worry, the character designers are actually really good. One of the designers is Tanaka Masayoshi, who made character designs for Blood Plus, Anohana, and even High School of the Dead and Hitman Reborn. And Horiguchi Yukiko, who's made stuff for Inuyasha, Lucky Star, and even for K-On!, which is something that he has under his belt, which means he can make good anime idol designs. So with these 2 designers, I imagine the characters will turn out really cool looking, or, very idol looking in this case. And there's high expectations to see what comes out of this. I'm not too sure what the theme's going to be, if it's going to be like real world setting or if it's going to be super future space battle just like AKB 008, but we'll find out. And the next bit of news is actually 48 with 46, and that's on a TV special they're going to do. Well, not all of the AKB 48 group is going. NGT isn't actually going, and for 46, Nogizaka actually isn't going for some strange reason. It's only Kyakizaka 46 that's going. Nogizaka isn't going to show up. I don't know what the reason for that is, but there must be some reason. Anyway, this event is for a Halloween special TV event that they're doing. And actually, Yamamoto Sayaka is going to be performing solo. I'm not too sure if she's going to sing along with NMB, but for sure she's going to be solo. And again, this isn't the concert that I talked about a couple weeks ago. This is going to be a live TV program that you can check out on October 31st. Now next I'll move to the graduates. And since we talked about 48 and 46 together, they're actually together again, this time with the graduated member. And that graduated member is Akimoto Sayaka. Akimoto Sayaka is going to be together with Takayama Kazumi. They're both funny people and I feel like they would work great together, and they're actually going to be ambassadors for the Chiba Aqua Line Marathon. Now, I'm not too sure what it means to be ambassador. I'm pretty sure you're kind of like a little host, but if that airs on TV and someone uploads it, I'll be glad to watch it. Since Akimoto Sayaka is one of my favorite ex-AKB members, and together with the super funny Kazumi, then I'm pretty sure this will be great. And another popular graduated member that's in the news is Takahashi Minami. Now, as you remember, her first CD just released, and I have the Oricon chart sales here. Now, she was just short of 10,000. You needed like 23 more copies to be sold, and then she would have passed that 10,000 mark. Now, if you fans bought the CDs, maybe if you would have bought just one more CD, then maybe she would have passed the 10,000 mark. But I feel like as being one of the popular members, being 9th on the Oricon chart is kind of low, especially for being the general manager. I feel like she could have done a little bit better, but we'll have to wait till next week to see exactly how well she did. And another graduated member we have to talk about is a former SKE 48 member, and that's Mizuno Honoka. Now, I'm not too familiar with her. She's never ranked. She never passed round 1 on the Janken tournament, and I just generally don't know anything about her. All I know is that she was an SKE 48 for 4 years, from 2010 to 2014. But anyway, the news about her is that she's receiving a photo book. Now, after SKE 48, she actually became a fashion / runway model. So I feel like this photo book has potential. And even looking at the cover, you can see how clean and how well lit it is, and how well she learned from modeling how to pose with the light and everything. So it seems like this would be really good to contrast with regular idol photo books versus an actual model photo book now. Now, I'm not saying that they're usually bad, but I feel like if you concentrate solely on modeling instead of being idol and model, then I feel like you might have a little bit better experience for actually modeling. And even in the description of the book, it says this has more of an adult feel versus the more innocent and light feel of an idol. And next we move on to the 46 group. Now we're going to start off with the good news and then eventually get to the bad news, so be ready for that. Now first up is Keyakizaka's third single lineup has been announced on their show. Now the center for this is the same center as before. I feel like Hirata Yurina is actually a strong center for Keyakizaka. I'm sure they'll keep her 5 or 6 singles just like they did Ikomarina with her singles. And that comes out November 30th if you guys want to check it out. But onto the Nogizaka 16th single lineup. But first, the title of the song is Sayonara no Imi. And the music video is actually out for, most countries. But if you watch it, you can actually see it has great cinematography, great lighting. And although I don't understand the story perfectly because it has its roots in Japanese folklore, I feel like I kind of don't understand it, but you can still kind of get the message. Anyway, even the CD covers have come out, and I think they look great. They look very Vanity Fair-like. I mean, none of the covers look bad. My favorites are A, which is with Nanami, and there's C, which is like they're wearing all blue and has Mai in there, so I might be a little bit biased, but all of them look great. Even the regular looks absolutely great. And that comes out November 9th if you want to pick it up and make sure they get up high on the Oricon scale. But I want to mention some Senbatsu differences that happened this time as opposed to last time. Now the first one is that Ito Marika and Inoue Sayori actually came back from being Undergirl's last single. So this is great for them. I feel like Sayonyan deserves to be in the Senbatsu. I feel like she's a strong Nogizaka character. And there's actually Himeka and Kichan who are actually in the Senbatsu for the second time. And I feel like they're people who work hard and deserve it. And we get Hori Miona and Wakatsuki Yumi who get to be in the second row instead of the third row, which they were like 2 or 3 singles. And also Shinichi Mai is actually in the Senbatsu again since like the 12th single. So I think this is great for her. She's getting a little older, so I feel like she should actually deserve to be in the Senbatsu. Not because of age, but because how much work she puts into it, being like part-time OL and everything. And we see Sakurai Reika actually getting third row instead of second row as she usually gets, which is a bit unfortunate. I mean, she is the captain after all, right? Then we get Saito Asuka, who was center last single, not being in the front row, but actually being in the second row. And of course, we have the usual 2 side centers, Nishino Nanase and Shirashi Mai. And for the center this time is Hashimoto Nanami. Now this is great for Nanamin. I feel like she really deserves this center spot. She's been in the Senbatsu every single, and this is finally her moment to shine. But of course, her moment to shine is because she's graduating, unfortunately. Yes, you heard that right. She's graduating. She announces on All Night Nippon, which is actually AKB's radio show, but Nogizaka takes over sometimes. But she announced that she will leave near February 2017 as it is her birthday, and she wants to become a regular person when she's 24 years old, which means she will actually leave the show business. She's not going to pursue being an actress like she said in the beginning. She's just going to stop dry and cold and just be a regular person. Now, this is unfortunate for most people that are fans of her because she's a really good actress, a singer, model, everything. And just to stop and just become a regular person, it's kind of disappointing. She has her own right to do whatever she wants, but I feel like there's a lot of potential that she had that unfortunately is going to go away if she becomes a regular person. Now that she's a center and Mai was a center, they both announced graduation. It makes me worried to see if the next center will announce graduation as well. It might just be the curse of the center or every other center. But yeah, that also brings up another point that the first gens aren't actually getting any younger. They're getting older. A lot of them are in their 20s. Like Mai is 23 and even second gen Mai is 23 now as well. I feel like having the appeal of older than usual idols is better. It gives them a more mature, more like clean look as opposed to the cute look, which I actually prefer having the cleaner look, the kirei look to say. But unfortunately, that means they graduate a little bit sooner because they want to go to the real world. And this is very sad, especially for a group like Nogizaka, who is so strong right now. And I feel like they can only get stronger if they stick with the members they have. It looks like the third gen really has to make up for work that the second gen can't show and the first gen are losing. Maybe they could stop this by having a rule that, you know, after you're 23, there's no love ban on you or something like that. But that's wishful thinking, and I don't think Akimoto or the committee will agree on that. I mean, at that point, they would just lose fans because people are weird like that. But anyway, that's the news for this week. If you want to keep updated, be sure to subscribe to see when the next news video is updated. And also check out last week's video, which is about Paruru graduating. Man, there's so many graduations happening of really good people. Anyway, be sure to like the video and leave down in the comments down below what you think about Nanami graduating and whether you're disappointed, glad, happy that she's moving on, becoming a regular person, or you wish her to keep on being an actress. So be sure to watch next week when I update the news once again.